So as you look at this beautiful place, this canyon, okay, because I'm several hundred feet down. As you look and as you think about this canyon, there are people that are going to say that this took millions of years to form Little River Canyon. And here's what I want to tell you about that. A person can believe that it took millions of years if they want to believe that. So what I'm saying is, so a person, if they want to believe that it took millions of years to form Little River Canyon, and that's probably what's on most of the literature about Little River Canyon. I don't have a problem if they want to believe that. My problem is when people state that like it's a fact. Okay? And as a Bible-believing Christian, I don't make the claim that I can prove that God created the world and everything in it 6,000 years ago. I say that I accept that by faith. My faith in that what I'm reading is a reliable, accurate narrative of the history of the world. So if somebody says, if they say, I believe it's millions of years old, it took millions of years to form Little River Canyon, or whatever, hundreds of thousands, or whatever number they come up with, somebody comes up with, I don't have a problem if they understand that it's a belief. Because whatever happened, and ever how this canyon was formed, the truth of the matter is, nobody saw it. Nobody that's living today, and nobody that's, as far as we know, that's kept any kind of historical record, except the Bible. And so if we look at the Bible, and we also look at real empirical science, in other words, what we know, what's repeatable, what's observable, then we would say that canyons and gullies and things like that are formed by a catastrophic type event. If we're just looking at the past, then we have to ask ourselves, all right, how do we know? Well, it's two possibilities. We either were created, and we can believe the Bible, starting with Genesis 1:1, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. And then we can say that God has put down in His Word, He has told us, He has revealed to us what happened in the very beginning. And I accept that by faith, but I also will say this, that if we're looking at empirical science lines up more with supernatural creation, the biblical account of creation, than does some kind of evolutionary molecules to man evolution, some kind of evolutionary philosophy. So what I'm saying is, that's not science. I don't say that my belief is science. My faith is science in the Bible. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying if we look at science and we say, what is scientific law? What are the laws of science? What do they better line up with, evolutionary theory or biblical creation? Then it's going to be biblical creation. And I'll go into that, but when I see this canyon, I don't think of millions of years. I think of catastrophe. I think of the floodwaters draining away off the earth that's described in Genesis 6-9, of that great cataclysmic flood that took place that flooded the whole earth. But when those waters were receding, they would have been at such force that it could have cut these canyons like Little River Canyon. So we don't have to, as Bible-believing Christians, we don't have to hang our head when somebody starts saying millions of years, my thing is how do you know? Because it's faith versus faith. It's not science versus faith. For years the evolutionists said, "Oh, you Christians, y'all just are Bible thumpers, and you checked your brain at the door." Well, I am a biologist, and I'm a Bible-believing Christian. I've been through the classes that talk about evolution. Now, remember, I'm talking about molecules to man. I'm not talking about small, minute change within kinds of animals that form new species, because we observe that. We can see that. It's repeatable. It's observable. We've seen it happen. We've seen animals adapt. We know that animals adapt. There's adaptation. That's not molecules to man evolution. In other words, that's not amphibians becoming reptiles, becoming mammals and birds and all that, changing from one kind of animal to another. That's never been witnessed. It never will be witnessed, because it's never happened. God created clear kinds of animals, as it talks about in chapter 1 of Genesis. And I want to encourage the Christian parents out there. There just went something across the river there swimming. And it might have been an otter, or it could have been a muskrat. I wish I would have been paying better attention. All right. Let's see if we can catch more fish.